Flashback to 2026. We see a younger Vel training with her sword. As we see, she cuts 2 watermelons in half very quickly. As we hear an applause, as we see Miles, her sensei, and a woman named Kezia cheering for her in the background. As Miles says, "Wow, that's a new record, Natalie. I'm very impressed. For just a few months, you've honestly mastered it." Kezia says, "Yeah, that was incredible. Soon enough, I think you'll be strong enough to kick my ass." "I see a bright future in you, kid. Not gonna lie." Natalie says, "Thanks, guys." "Yeah, it's really fucking awesome." Miles says, "Natalie?" Natalie says, "I mean, that's really awesome." Kezia laughs and says, "All right, I'll leave you two to it." Miles and Natalie sit next to each other as he says, "You're catching on pretty quick there, kid. Thanks for letting me teach you." Natalie says, "Well, I guess the rumors going around were wrong. You're not all that bad, Miles." Miles says, "Yeah, well, the reasons you hear so many rumors about me is because I used to do a lot of bad shit before we were in peacetime. I did some unspeakable things, kid, and I'm not proud of it. Any bit of it. You know, I taught you how to master the weight of the sword and how to fight with it, defend yourself with it, but there's one more lesson I haven't taught you yet, kid. And it's the most important one of them all. Never be like I was, okay? If times are rough, if you have to make a decision between doing the right thing or the wrong thing because you feel like that's the only thing you can do the right thing, kid. Because eventually it'll catch up to you if you don't, and you deserve so much good, kid. Always remember that." Natalie hugs him and says, "Is it okay if I hug you?" Miles says, "What the heck." As they hug, as we see the sunrise in the distance, as Kezia sees this from far and looks happy to see the progress Natalie has made. Currently, as Natalie sits there in the cell covered in blood as she says, "Master, take me with you." We hear the bells ringing as Ragnar is standing in a massive crowd in an open space in Wyoming. As he walks out in front of his people and fires a few shots up in the air, he says, "All right, everyone, shut up. We have a verdict on Rob Johnson and his people. We have an estimate of where they are, and we're going to try to end this tonight. Now, I know what you're thinking. He should be strung up for what he did. I'd agree. And while that may be true, we have to remember everything good comes in time. So tonight, me and the prey will be getting the justice for Blackberry. Now, how do we kick off justice? Quite simple." As we see Athena walking down the hallway to the cells, as we hear Ragnar saying, "We've had our fun for long enough. Now it's time to reward you with something real special." Ragnar gives his men the signal as Athena opens up the door as she says, "All right, Vel, we gotta go, and we gotta go now." As we see, Vel is gone. Ragnar says, "Vel Hazer herself," as the crowd cheers for her death, as Ragnar then says, "This is our first. Vel will be our first to go." As we see Vel humiliated in front of the crowd of Wyoming. Athena looks worried as she storms out in a hurry. The enforcer forces her to her knees in front of the entire crowd. As a skull hunter puts a sword to her throat, Ragnar says, "I'm sorry, Vel, but our time has come." As Vel looks ready. Outside of the theme park, we see a few skull hunters walking through the woods on patrol. Out of nowhere, Tugo and Ryder come up behind both of them and stab them both in the neck as the blood pours all over the snow. The other one tries to put up a fight as Ryder then slashes the guy in the face, peeling his skin off, as he then stabs him in the neck, ending his life. Ryder says,
"Okay, Area 1 clear."
Rob and Mara are inside the theme park as we see everyone leaving, as we see the soldiers marching in a line. As Rob and the others get on the boats, as he says,
"Vel's place, that's where they'll find us."
Mara says, "You sure we're ready?" Rob says,
"Gee, I hope so."
As they get on the boats and go towards the castle to attack, as Rob stays back and says,
"Y'all go. I'll be right behind you with the others."
Ryder says to Tugo,
"All right, it's on."
As they run through the woods, as we hear Ragnar saying,
"These people have ruined our lives long enough. Tonight I've finally given you the justice that you deserve, that I deserve. And we already know Vel had enough words to say. Enforcer, do it."
Ryder and Tugo then back up behind the trees as we see 10 other skull hunters are on the road. But then they all get blown up behind them. Vel looks up at the sky as she looks out and says,
"Forgive me, Miles."
one of the skull hunters gets shot and killed as we see Desmond on the top of a building with a sniper shooting down at Ragnar and his men. Vel takes her chances and runs. Ragnar tries to stop her, but then more of his guys are getting shot and killed in front of him. As we zoom in on Desmond, as he says,
"Now how's that for court, you motherfucker?"
Vel is running through the crowd of people as everyone is running for their lives. But then Avar grabs Vel by the arm and says, "Velhazer!" Vel says, "I'm not fucking going back, you asshole!" Avar whispers,
"You're not going. I'm with Athena. Come on, let's go."
Vel then decides to go with him as they run through the crowd together. Athena is running through the streets in a panic as she then sees Desmond running with a rifle. As she stops him and says,
She's gone. She's gone. Fuck. I don't know where she went."
Desmond says, It's okay, calm down. I stopped them."
"She got out."
Athena says, "Then where the hell did she go?" As we hear, "I'm right here." As we see her and Avar standing together, as Athena says,
"I'm glad you're alive."
Vel says, "Yeah, no shit. Christ, I almost got my head chopped off back there." As Athena gives her swords back and says, "Here, you're gonna need this. You go with Avar. Me and Desmond will cover you from the buildings. You'll get out, all right? You'll get out." Vel shakes her hand and says, "Thanks, Athena, for everything." Athena says, "Well, thanks for helping me see things more clearly. Looks like we both helped each other out." As they go their separate ways. We see Vel with both of her swords chopping up multiple skull hunters that are coming towards her. As she then slashes a few others as they clear a path, as they start running down the road, as a few other skull hunters are running towards them. As they all get shot by Desmond, as he and Athena are standing there watching her escape as they are running. We see the gate is not far off as they both make a run for it. as Avar says, "You're good." Vel says, "I had a good teacher." As Avar then opens up the gates to Wyoming as Vel starts running, as he then says, "Come on, we gotta go." Out of nowhere, Avar gets shot down by multiple skull hunters. As Vel looks shocked, as she then runs into the woods as fast as she can, as Avar is down. As we see, he's been shot multiple times, as he then gets shot in the head by Ragnar. As he looks pissed, as he knows Vel got away. And with Vel Hazer escaping from Wyoming, as she runs out as fast as she can, as we then see Desmond and Athena see Avar dead as they both look angry, as Desmond loads his gun and aims it at Ragnar's head. We see a skull hunter is bleeding out on the ground in the snow, as we see Rob comes upon him as he pulls out his sword and says, "Drop it. Where did my friends go?" The guy says, "Up the road. You people are hard to find. Wait." You're Rob Johnson. I know you. You must be real sad after losing your daughter in the way you did. I mean, father always dies before his daughter. I guess in this world it's just the other way around, isn't it? He laughs as Rob takes his sword and puts it into his skull, ending his life as he hears, "Nice work, Mr. Johnson." He turns around to see Vel standing there as she runs to him and hugs him as she says, "I missed you, Rockstar." Rob smiles as he sees her eye and says, "I'm so sorry for what happened to you." Vel says, "It's okay. You tried. Listen, we gotta get the hell out of here. I think they followed me or something. They're gonna be coming." But then, we see multiple skull hunters surrounding them from every direction in the woods, as they all pull out their weapons, as Rob says, "Get your weapons. I hope that master taught you well, kid." Vel says, "We're not running?" Rob says, "There's nowhere to run. And besides, we're gonna pin them in one by one. Good thing they're in the same place together, because we're gonna kill them all at once."